Ma'am, two are remaining. Other than that, are seen.
Or all right. In that there is any doubt?
No, ma'am.
No? All right. Perfect. What about other people? Harsh, Daksh, Ananya, do you have any doubt or everything is clear?
No, ma'am.
Clear, ma'am.
Clear? All right, perfect then. So today we're going to start with search engine optimization, which is SEO. And in that concept, we're also going to be learning about keyword research. Because when we talk about SEO, keyword sort of goes hand in hand with it. And then we're going to talk about sales psychology, that how exactly would you be selling your products online digitally, right? So that is what you will be focusing more on. You have not watched everything to it. It's okay if you have not seen any video, it's a very separate topic in itself. But just make sure that you're watching videos regularly because you will have to make your portfolio eventually and it's going to help you out with that, right? So try to watch the videos and if you have any doubt, please DM me on WhatsApp. Okay? All right.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Anybody has heard about SEO by the way? SEO, search engine optimization. Have you heard this term before?
No, ma'am.
No? All right. Okay. Perfect. So I'm going to talk about everything in detail now. Why are we learning about firstly social media optimization? It is because though you will be moving towards like social media marketing and all, but the mostly the kind of companies that you will be working in or the kind of agency that you will be working in will will be a digital marketing agency. Right, so there you cannot see that hey, I am not aware about this concept. I only know about I only know about social media marketing because when we talk about digital marketing in general, sort of everything with interlinked with one another. So when you have studied about social media marketing as well, I talked about Instagram SEO, right? So that is also kind of topic that appears. So you have to be aware about each and everything that comes into the picture. Now SEO, if I talk about, it's a broad topic in itself. It's a whole week course in itself. But what I will be making sure and what I will be doing is that I will try to make sure the basics of SEO are at least clear so that you're able to understand what is happening around you. All right. So first, very like what is the definition of SEO? What exactly does SEO mean? Whenever you see a website ranking on top, right? So usually you see sponsor ads, right? And then you see two or three different websites competing to be on top, right? Now, how do they do that? SEO actually helps them do that. So what happens is that we make improvements into our content. So let's say you as a company have your own website. Now, what you will try to do is that you will try to improvise on your content. Whatever the content you're putting on your website, you will try to give a structure to it. You will try to add keywords to it, right? The sole reason why you will be doing all this thing is this because you want your page to be discovered by the people, right? So you want the pages to be discovered, that is why you're doing search engine optimization over there, right? Is it clear? Is this particular definition clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Basically it helps you with ranking your websites, right? Now, how do we do that? So there is two concept. This concept that comes, which is how does search engine work? Right. First, let's study about how does search engine work. There are three processes that happens. First one is scrolling. Second is indexing, and third one is getting your results. Right. So as soon as you put anything on internet, yes, Gurjeet.
By
Any
mistake, by
question?
mistake. No, by mistake.
By mistake. All right. Okay. So there are three particular steps that happens. First one is crawling, second is indexing, and third one is getting your results. Right. So when I talk about this, whenever a company is putting their details online, for example, if you're updating anything onto your website, there are a lot of information that is there on internet, right? So how do search engine also make sure that you get the right information, right? So this is that particular process. There are a lot of information that is available. Now, how do you streamline those things up? So if I take an example of a library over here, if let's say you open a library and there are a lot of books, right? A truck came with a lot of books. Now you have to arrange the books, right? So generally, how you will sort those books? First, you will gauge through all the books and you will see that what is the common patterns that you could find. Probably you will find that there are different authors and multiple authors of that book. right? Or probably you will find that there are different genres altogether, and in that genres also there are different age groups. So accordingly you will categorize those books, or accordingly you will place those books, right? As soon as the customer comes to your library and asks you the question that, hey, I want this particular book, or let's say I'm looking for this particular genre, you're going to guide the customer to that particular column, and from that he will see that if they want something very specific, you will give a book to them, or otherwise they will just explore there, right? This is generally how it works. In internet also, it's how that is how work. For example, there are 10 different clothing websites which is uploading white shirt pictures, blue shirt pictures, right? They're just uploading the pictures of shirts, they're selling shirts, right? Now what was going to happen, as soon as you upload your data, it is gonna crawl your data firstly. So whenever you're mentioning anything onto your website, the crawler crawls your data and see what exactly your content is all about, right? So let's say if they gauge through your content and they see that, okay, your content is all about, selling shirts online, and what are the kind of shirts you're selling, blue, red, or let's say white, all these things they gauge through your content. Then comes indexing. So they crawl to all the other 10 website also plus yours content as well, right? Now they're gonna do, they're gonna categorize the content up. So they might have a column, let's say, I'm just giving you a hypothetical example over here, right? But that is how the streamlining process also works. So what they're gonna do is that, let's say, they will categorize it as short, right? If that short, all the 10 website will come, right? Now in that column of short, there is gonna white short. So only website that is having, probably if there are only 5 website that is happening white short, they're gonna come. Various pattern, then the subcategories of it, and then the subcategories of it, right? Like this, all the data that is available, they do that with that. They categorize those data, which is called indexing. Now, as soon as a user asks for something, let's say I search for white t-shirt, whatever you have put up onto your website, if it matches with that particular key phrase, I will get your results on or on my laptop or the search engine, right? So that is how the process is going to work, right? First you crawl that, first it's going to crawl the data, then it's going to categorize the data, and from that, if I search for something and if it matches with that particular, then that particular information is going to pop up, right? The phrase should match. If the phrase is not matching, at least here and there few other words needs to be matched over there. All right, am I clear with this?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So let's talk about another concept which is very important over here, which is called keyword. Have you heard about keyword before?
The main or the main word used in a
The main word. All
sentence.
right.
Main word.
The keyword is not just the main word. So when you say main word, probably you mean like one or two, right? But keyword is in general whatever that you're typing on search engine, right? So whatever you type into your search box, that is what your keyword is gonna be, right? So be it of 5 letters, be it of 20 letters, be it of 11 letters, right? So that is how it's gonna work. Okay, so there are two categories of those keywords. First one is a short tail keyword. Short tail keywords are basically two words keywords. For example, digital marketing, online marketing, all those things. And there is another keyword called long tail keywords, which is like what is digital marketing, career aspects of digital marketing, right? So that is how the keywords has been divided. Now you do the keyword research for your company, and you also do the competitors research for your company itself, so that you are able to understand and plot the keywords very carefully or every pages. Let me give you an example of it. If you're searching for iPhone, right, probably Amazon will appear. As soon as you click on the Amazon link, only the page where all the iPhones are listed, that is going to appear. Let's say you search for a particular model of iPhone. When you click on the link, only that particular model is going to get appeared. Now why it is happening? It is happening because keywords, right? So whatever the items that has been listed over there, the keyword that you've written probably have those keywords there, right? That is why it's happening. Otherwise, Amazon sells lots and lots of things, and they could also appear, but it's not happening. The sole reason it is happening is because of the keyword, right? Now this also helps you with the ranking and everything. All the, for example, you are also selling phones and Amazon is also selling phones. Obviously Amazon will rank much higher than your website. The reason being is they're in the market for the long time, and also they have built some sort of an authority, right? So that is the very reason why that also comes into the picture. So whenever you are gauging your competitors, also see that is it your competitor at your level, or is it something that is an aspirational competitors of yours, right? So that is something that you have to think about. Now I'll tell you how do you do the keyword research over here. So you just have to go on Google and search for Google Keyword Planner. As soon as you go on Google Keyword Planner, this is the kind of screenshot that is going to appear, right? Just click on Keyword Planner over here. As soon as you click on Keyword Planner, just click on Discover New Keywords. Whenever you click on Discover New Keywords, this is the kind of pop-up that you're going to get. In that particular pop-up, you click on Start with Keywords. So if you want to search for a particular keyword related, for example, I am selling a video editing course online, right? So my main keyword is video editing course, right? Now from that, I'll write different keywords. For example, what is video editing? How do you do video editing for beginners and all those things? That is the sub questions that I will be asking. My main crux is video editing, so I'm going to mention that, right? So as soon as I mentioned that, if you can see, there are a lot of keywords that I could find, right? So there are 755 ideas that is available. If you change it just to video editing, there will be different ideas as well. But here I'm currently selling a course, that is why I've included a course here. The reason being is I want right amount of customers. I mean I want the right kind of audience for my particular process. So if I just put video editing, right, where when I'm selling video editing course, the footfall that I will be having on my website will not be the relevant customer type. All I'm looking for people who is actually interested in a course so that I can sell my course to them. That is why I'm writing this kind of keywords. As soon as you see that, then you can see that there are a lot of options that is coming up for different keywords. Here you can see another word they have used is learn video editing. Is that they have used video editing classes online, video editing classes offline, video editing courses, right? So few here and there tweaks in the words they have done. The reason they have done this kind of tweaks is because, let's say if I take an example of you guys itself, if you have to ask a question to me, right? Let's say, how do you build a portfolio? That is the question you want to ask to me, right? The way you will be asking that question will be very different. How Gurjeet will be framing his sentences, the kind of words he will be using will be very different as compared to how Harsh will be framing his sentences, right? So that is the very reason why I need lots and lots of keywords which actually defines my customer base. So around 10K to 100K people are searching for this kind of keywords. They are using this kind of phrase. So I'll probably have this kind of phrase onto my website, right? Now, this particular keyword research tool actually helps you with a very broad range. 10K to 100K is a very broad range, right? But the sole reason you're getting this range is because you're working on a very free model. As soon as you level up yourself with some premium subscription of, let's say, Uber Suggest or Ahref, which actually helps you with keyword research, it's going to give you a very specific range that is going to help you with keyword research. So whenever you're working with a company online, you will be able to figure it out. Like, they will give you that particular access to it so that they can give you a much more defined range than this, right? So accordingly, I'll just decide that what is the kind of keyword I would like to place. Then there is one more thing. If I have to see that what is the kind of keyword my competitors are using, just click on Start with Website and put the link of the website here. Now, for example, I'll give you an example here. Amazon is selling lots and lots. Let's say I'm selling a phone, okay? Amazon also sells phone, right? Now, what is going to happen? Amazon not just sells phone, they also sell other appliances as well, other things as well, right? Now, I cannot just be putting the link of Amazon website over there, right? What I will be doing, I will be searching for, let's say I'm selling phones, right? So I'll be searching for iPhones, right? Then if Amazon appears, I'm going to click on that particular link, which has all the listed iPhones over there. That I'm going to copy and put it over here, right? So not the Amazon wala, I mean the Amazon address will be there, but what I want is a detailed address, the detailed URL where it has iPhones as well, because that is what my main competitor is. I'll copy that link up, I'm going to paste it over here. Now you know what is going to happen. I'm going to see all the details that this particular website or this particular link has related to keywords. So whatever the keywords that Amazon is using, whatever the keywords here, in this case Udemy is using, I'm able to see that. And not just I'm able to see those keywords, I'm able to see the monthly searches on it, the competition of it as well, and what is the bidding as well. Bidding, we are not going into detail, but bidding is used whenever you wanna do SEM. SEM is basically search engine marketing. So the first three ads that basically that you see, the sponsor ads for that particular slot. If you want to fight on that particular slot, then you have to do bidding on those keywords, right? So that's a different process altogether. We're not going to delve into it. It's much more advanced. But You're gonna see all these particular details over here. So what you can do, you can take references from this and the previous search history, and accordingly come up with a better keyword suggestion for your website. You can experiment with your keywords as well over here, right? Am I clear till this part?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, perfect. Then let's move ahead a little and let's talk about on-page SEO. So when I talk about on-page SEO and off-page SEO, uh, so when I talk about on-page SEO, so on-page SEO is something that is fully into your control. What you try to do is that you try to improve on the quality of the content that you're putting out. You try to optimize your content much more, right? Now, how that optimization is done, either you will be using your keywords onto the title, right? So in your main title, for example, you're writing about digital marketing, and your main keyword is social media. So how does social media work in digital marketing? That is something, the keyword that you will be writing. Even in the URL, you will be having that particular keyword, right, that you will be mentioning. Then images, video. So whatever the content that you will be making will be a very rich content that you will be making. See, one thing is for sure, the search engine is only going to give out content to its user unless and until they find it relevant, right? So if you want your content to be relevant enough, you have to put those kind of details up. You have to make a well researched content, as well as it should look like that, it should have all the possible elements into it as well, right? So on page SEO basically takes care of all these things, right? So wherein you will be inserting your keywords into the paragraphs that you will be writing, the images that you will be using, and all other things, right? Another concept is called off-page SEO. Off-page SEO is something that is not directly into your control, but you obviously have a very huge role to play, as well as the third party also have a very huge role to play here. Now, when I talk about Just Dial, have you heard about Just Dial?
Yes.
All right. So can you tell me, Gurjeet, what does Just Dial do? All right, I'll help you with it. So, Just Dial basically, if you search for, let's say, gynecologist, if you search for any doctor, if you search for plumber, if you search for carpenter, right, any sort of services that you particularly search for, it is gonna give you recommendations of the people nearby you, right? So if you search for a doctor near you,
It gives
then
the main shops and all other
yes,
near you.
yes, it's
Mainly
gonna,
that only.
yes, it gives you all those details, right? So whenever you search something, let's say if you search for doctors, if when you went on to your search engine, you search for doctors near you, the list of doctor is gonna appear, right? At the same time, some recommendation of website is gonna appear. Yellow pages, which works in other, I think it's yellow pages only, or yellow diary, something of this sort. So it basically works over there. It's like the directory which has all the details, right? And then Just Dial is also going to appear. So as soon as you click on Just Dial website and you search for, and you're going to get recommendations of various doctors also. So you're getting the recommendations on search engine as well, and you're also getting the recommendation on Just Dial, right? But Just Dial is something which is a very huge platform in itself, right? A lot of people rely on those platforms. Okay, so what happens in this Just Dial particular case over here is that whenever now, why do we need this particular website for us? So let's say whenever a doctor is establishing its clinic and or establishing its digital presence, they made their own presence and everything. Now Just Dial might have not gone to all the possible doctors in India, right? Actually, Just Dial might have not gotten to all the possible doctors in India, right? They themselves have registered themselves on the Just Dial website. If they've registered themselves on Just Dial website, possibly they might be getting some of the other benefits out of it. Right? Now, what is that particular benefit? The benefit is that Just Dial have a huge traffic. They get very huge traffic. People rely on it, right? So if you get yourself listed on Just Dial, if you anyway pop on the Just Dial, the customers, or the consumers of Just Dial, if they see your database, chances are high that they will click on your profile and they will visit you, right? So you are gonna get two advantages over here. First is that you have your own digital presence, right? So one thing is that if you pop up there, it's fine. If you don't pop up there, then other option is Just Dial, right? Now this is just one thing, okay? If you, let's say, another thing, like basically off-page activity is all about, is the third party recommending you or not? And if the third party is recommending you, is it a good source or not? Right? It could work two ways for you. If it is recommending you and it's a good website, your authority of the website increases. If it's a bad website recommending you, the authority of your website also decreases. So what you try to do is you try to list yourself onto the website which has higher traffic and higher domain authorities as well, right? Very well renowned. For example, if you have seen Medium as well, if you have seen Quora as well, right? Lot of people actually write about their contents and everything. And if those people, like if we like find them through those websites, we might click on their profiles as well, the other social medias, the other website they particularly have, right? Similarly, it goes for slide shares, right? It also goes the same for Pinterest, right? So any rich website recommending your website would be good enough for you. Okay, so that is what is basically happening in the off page activity, wherein we try to get advantage of the third party sources. Okay, till here I'm clear.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now we're going to delve into a very different topic altogether, which is sales in digital marketing. So usually you might have seen traditional sales, how it happens, like it's in-person sales, right? All sales through retailer, distributor, all this kind of things used to happen, right? Now when you have coming yourself on a very different platform, you majority is the sales is happening is online after COVID, right? So you also have to make sure that you're positioning yourself in such a manner, right? With offline sale, it's completely fine. You know some psychology trick that possibly have the first product in the aisle so the person can see it, right? Whenever you're writing a discount, write 99 there because the customer read it from left to right, right? So all these things are very much clear to it, that how does traditional landscape work, but online, how does it work, right? How do you make your sales more effective? So whenever you are coming up with an offer, any launch that is coming up from your side, just remember this five rules, okay? First one is there should be a FOMO factor into your content or into the advertisement that you're doing. Unless and until there is not a FOMO, your customer will take delay in making the decision to purchase, right? So scarcity and FOMO, what do I mean by that? For example, the scarcity could be something like get this offer within 24 hours, otherwise the price is going to increase further, otherwise the offer won't be valid there, right? Even with Yuba, you might when you have joined this particular course, you they might have given you some discount that if you purchase within, like, let's say 2 days or 24 hours, you can possibly have a 10% discount upfront, right? And if you later make the purchase, the discount won't be there, right? So that is a trick that they are using, which is a form of FOMO, which gives you a little bit of FOMO over here, right? Then comes the framing effect. So it depends upon how you're framing your sentences up. So whenever you're running your advertisement as well, you have to be very careful about the copy that you're writing for your advertisement. Let me give you an example. There are two examples to it. Example number one and example number two is of a college, right? So a college A is saying that 90% of the students get placed into a college. College B says that 10% doesn't get placed into a college, right? Now, usually you will be attracted to college A more because of the positive referencing they are giving to the college, right? And though it means the same thing, 90% getting placed, 10% not getting placed, is means the same thing, right? But still you won't be attracted to college B because they focused on the negative side of it. And now you see the negative side of it, and whenever you're taking a big decision as, you know, choosing a college for yourself, you would not like to go to the negative side of it. Usually you would like to stay in the positive side of it. So whenever you're framing your sentences, try to frame it in that manner where the customer is able to see the good side of your business, right? Then comes the halo effect. So halo effect basically talks about, let's say you made a very good advertisement, right? It's everything is on point, everything, the advertisement and everything is looking very good. As soon as a person clicks on an advertisement and go to your website, right, and they try to add a particular product and they try to buy that particular product, the same that you listed onto your advertisement, it's not available. Or let's say if it's available, they're trying to click on it, there is payment issue, there's a lot of other things that is happening, but somehow the customer is not able to move to the successful payment option, right? Now what is going to do, your halo effect went to wane. The first thing worked really well for your advertisement and everything was proper, but the other things you fucked up, right? Now that is when this particular picture things comes into picture. Whenever you're running your advertisement, make sure the advertisement that you're running, other things related to that advertisement is properly working or not. Is your profile, just in case the person want to verify your authority, or what is the kind of, you know, or just they see your profile just to develop the trust onto the brand. Is your brand looking authentic enough on internet or not, right? And if they're going to your advertisement to buy something, do you have seamless process for them or not? If you do not have it, please streamline it, because if they once have a negative experience from your website, they might not visit again, right? So that is something that you have to take care of in the halo effect. Then comes first and last and frequency. So usually what happens whenever you say something at the very first, and whenever whatever you say something at the very last, it's something that is the most remembered thing, right? Rest of the content they do remember, but not as clearly as the first and the last things, right? So whenever you're talking about your product, or whenever you're talking about your sales, talk about the benefit first. And whenever you're ending your sales call, or whenever you're ending your advertisement, I end it with the kind of action that you want them to take. For example, if give you an example of a YouTube video, so usually they start with a very good intro with the proper hook statement, and they end the YouTube video with that like, subscribe, and share if you like the content. So at the last thing is there in your mind is that, right? So if they remind you again, you might like it again if you like the particular content, right? So similarly, whatever the action you want them to take, you only have to say to your customer that this is the action I want you to take. Then only they'll take that particular action. Then comes the frequency effect. So in frequency, what is going to happen? um, the more you talk about your particular product, the more you talk about the sales, that is going to help you with it. Now there is a factor also. In the same manner, don't talk about your sales and other processes, right? Talk about it in a very different manner. For example, one time you did a launch event, you talked about it. Another time, talk about it in terms of customer's perspective, what your customer is saying about it, right? Then remind them there is an offer going on. Talk about your journey and everything, right? So what I want from you is that remembrance, right? So you have to actively speak about your brand, not necessarily speak for an offer that you're running right now, but actively speak, right? Because once you actively see, they automatically remember, okay, they're running an offer and everything, right? Speak about offers as well, but don't be too salesy over there. Try to incorporate different tricks so that the people can remember your brand. All right, am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So this is it for the SEO and the sales psychology class. If you have any doubts, you can just ask me here. Right. Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
No? So,
मैम
yes.
मैम मैम हेलो इफेक्ट टाइप का फिर से बता दीजिए
Sorry, can you just repeat your question again, please?
मैम हेलो इफेक्ट
Halo effect. You want
यस
me to
मैम
explain it again?
यस मैम
All right. So let's say when you're running an advertisement, you decided to run your advertisement on Instagram. The advertisement is looking very good visual wise and everything is proper, right? Customer get attracted to your advertisement. They click on your advertisement. And as soon as they click onto your advertisement, you have uploaded the link to go to your website. And they went to your website and your website is not working, right? Or the product you listed on that ad is not there onto that website. Now customer is going to have a bad experience, right? The first effect was good, the second effect was not good, right? So they're going to remember your brand is that this that okay, कोई फायदा नहीं है इनका advertisement खोलने का because website would not work, right? So whenever you're doing sales or whenever you're following this particular process up, remember anything interlinked that could actually affect your image should be working properly and fine.
ओके मैम
Okay, all right.
यस
Okay. Yes, Daksh, I think you also had some question. You also raised your hand.
No, ma'am.
No? All right, perfect then. So if you have any doubt, reach out to me on WhatsApp. I hope you're done with your portfolio. You have a very, very fair idea as to what to do on your portfolio.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, could you please send the
यस
sample
मैम
portfolio on the main group?
Sample portfolios.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'll send it. I thought I sent it that day itself. I'll say send it again if I've not sent it. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
ओके
Thank you
मैम
so much, everyone. All the best for your future. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
थैंक
All
यू मैम
right. Bye bye.